The one thing that I don't do like anything at all with is the AVP, because I can't bring myself to watch it. I can't. I want last year.
You are not alone.
No,
in not watching it.
No, I was with Nick Lucena last year, and we were like, we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna watch the league, and we watched it for like 12 minutes, and we were like, you want to watch the Georgia-Kentucky football game? Like, let's do that. It's I want to watch it because they're all my friends playing, but it just feels weird watching beach volleyball in an arena all the time. Like, it's just not the sport.
No.
To me.
No. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the crowds and the audience that they're getting sort of mirrors that sort of thinking.
They've made their votes, it seems.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of time before, like, it's called sunk cost, right? So
right.
It's called the sunk cost fallacy. What happens is they get stuck into a plan, and when it's obvious it's not working, you should just end it right then and go in a different direction. But that's not how humans work.
Right.
Humans will keep digging a hole until the sides fall in on them,
and the cost just keeps piling up.
All right, I mean, I could tell you this right now, and I've been predicting these things for 20 years. My predictions are always right. Maybe I'll be wrong once. Maybe someone else will do a documentary. Possible. I've been right 25 years. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm not ever going to be wrong. But these things are so predictable. There is no way they can make money with the business plan they have. I call it the chicken shit sandwich shop. Have you heard this one?
No.
It's called the chicken shit sandwich shop. So if the AVP were selling sandwiches, they'd sell chicken shit sandwiches, and they'd wonder why no one's buying the sandwiches. And when I come around, I go, hey, you guys maybe ought to sell some chicken salad sandwiches, maybe just a chicken sandwich, like Chick-fil-A. That might get you some people to buy your chicken sandwiches. Oh, no, Kent, you're an ass. And then they call me names, right? So I get the name calling. And then I go, well, maybe even a turkey sandwich. And they go, that's a great idea. Kent, we'll sell turkey shit sandwiches. And so if you have a chicken shit sandwich shop, you're never going to sell any chicken sandwiches. Are you? No. And so... like, it's so predictable. It's so they can keep pouring money into these things, and they'll get the same results as they would. So, no, we have to go international chicken shit sandwich shops. no, we'll do city versus city league chicken shit sandwich shops. It's just it's so I went hunting 2 Novembers ago with my buddy Tyler, and first day we get there, and an elk walks probably 100 yards in front of us, broadside, great shot. But I had a tag for a cow, and he had a tag for a bull. He could have shot it, and he's like, nah, I want to wait. And we see a herd, like 100 elk probably. And he's like, all right, well, let's go explore other areas. And then we couldn't find that herd again for a little while. And so he came up with this saying, not came up with it, but he's like, you never leave elk to find elk. And I feel like we've left beach volleyball on the natural beaches and natural beauty of whatever the land offers to go find beach volleyball indoors. In leagues. And it's odd to me because I think that if you look at beach volleyball as a sport, what does it have that no other sport in the world has? The beaches. Yeah.
Or natural beauty. Like, I look at Stade and they use the natural beauty of the landscape to put on put on a phenomenal tournament. Even Ostrava, where I don't know if you've seen it or
pictures,
been.
Yeah.
So cool. One of the coolest venues I've ever seen. They use the natural beauty of the land to put on a sweet event. But then we go in leagues and we just become every other sport. Whereas we could be the most unique sport in the world in that we're on beaches.
Yeah, so that's why they call it a lifestyle sport in a sense. And that's what surfing has, and that's what like the skiing, some of the skiing sports, the X Games sports have in a sense, is they have that. I mean, look, the World Surf League was convinced that they were going to put on wave pool competitions. Like, we were going to watch surfing in a wave pool. They're like, no, we're going to build a giant wave pool in downtown Tokyo during the Olympics, and it's going to be big. If you think people are going to watch surfing events not on a surf break, or if you think a lot of people are going to watch beach volleyball not in like what you're talking about around this, then good luck. I mean, pour a bunch of money into it.
Right.
And by the way, that like it hasn't been tried. It's been tried. Like, we did it.
Did you ever do the hot winter nights?
Yeah, we did four of them. New York was pretty good. And then the other 3 were terrible. But, it didn't work, really. We could sell a sponsor. We got like $12,500 in Madison Square Garden, which is good, but it's not good enough for Madison Square Garden because it's an expensive place.
The cost is pretty...
You got to fill the place up.
Yeah.
And we played in George Mason with Washington D.C.
Yeah.
We played in Boston at the Boston Garden, the old
Okay.
one. And we played in Minneapolis or Minnesota, and the 3 other ones not in Madison Square Garden didn't do well. And we played in tennis stadiums during the summer in Cincinnati. We played in Indianapolis in tennis stadiums. We played the World Championships at UCLA in a tennis stadium. And
That was 97, right?
yeah,
That was
97.
like I think that's considered the first legit world championship.
How dare you? How dare you try?
I said
I have a trophy which says I'm a fucking world champion. Randy Stoklos gets really pissed at this because he's got multiple. He's got
Right.
FIVB world championships.
Yeah.
Randy Stoklos. Like, now they're not counting it. They gave me this trophy. Yeah, those bastards of the FIVB. It's just whatever. It's the way it is. But your point is, well, all right. So there's a secondary problem. In that, if you are an investor, and I want nothing best but the best for the sport. Right?
Yeah,
I want to
would love
have. I would love it if the tour was just like the '90s. Right, that number of events, that $4.5 million prize money just meant television audiences from 1 to 2 million with an occasional pop to 2 to 5. That's all I care about. That's what the plan does. That's what the plan is supposed to do. All right. I think that internationally, the top player should be making $2 million. United States probably $1 million. You know, second, the United States top team should be making $1 million. Number 2 should be making $600,000. Is it? Yeah. And then the third ranked team should be making $300,000 each. Okay, and then in between there, those are the goals. Those are the metrics you're striving for.
Right.
What does it take? You work back to see how to get there. But I understand an external investor. So if you're going to put capital in, all right. So Alden Capital is a private equity firm, all right, and they invest money into businesses. They are looking for an exit strategy X number of years down the road, and so the business has to be structured in a certain way for them to deliver that to the next owner. All right, so they want to sell to IMG Endeavor, for example, the way UFC did, all right, the way WWE did, all right. So that's what they're looking at, all right, the way that NASCAR might do.
Right.
Okay, and the problem is volleyball world's in the same thing with CVC. All right, the structure is not what is necessary to grow the sport, to build the sport, and to make all the athletes rich and the fans happy. It's meant as a exit strategy down the line. So I understand and I get it. Even that they're fucking up and doing wrong. All right, so so it doesn't. If another owner comes in, all right, they're going to have the same problem in what they're facing. All right, the sport probably isn't really a sport. It's not a private equity asset. Again, unless you separate the illusion from the asset, call me. I'll tell you how to do it. But anyway, that's the problem. All right, because in a sense, there's no. All right. When you talk about, it's called the illusion of sport. And sports are unique in the fact that you have to convince people to care about the outcome. All right. So why do Americans care about football, but they don't care about cricket? But Indians care about cricket and don't care about football.
Right.
All right. It's the illusion that it matters. All right. And that we should care about the outcome. Same with the NBA. All right. Not a lot, and less people do than you'd think. Which is why Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune get like 8-9 million viewers, and that's NBA doesn't do that, barely does that. All right, so you have this. You have again the problem with the league and the city versus city, and I don't have a problem with the city versus city or league model. It's I mentioned this in my writing on my Facebook post. It's not a good idea and it's not a bad idea. It's a non-idea. All right, the problem is the competition. All right, people are not convinced that the competition is real. Right, that the teams are battling, that they're fighting. First of all, you have a men's team and a women's team. All right, so let me get this straight. So the Lakers play the first half and the Sparks play the second half, and that's who determines the NBA championship is absurdly idiotic. All right, so you have a high hurdle to overcome to get people to believe that actually matters or should matter and that they should do it. That's functionally it. All right. So in a sense, when you have a single entity owner, you break the illusion that the sport is real and that it matters. And this was written about in 1980 in the book, Sports Illusion, Sports. I'll think about the name of it. I'll send it to you. You could put it in the comments below this.
Please do.
It's the book, and he wrote about it in the 1980s. He was a reporter for the New York Times.
Okay.
Who was a baseball and a basketball writer. So he did baseball in the summer, basketball, and he just traveling around, seeing it, talking to owners, being involved in sport. He sort of wrote one of the first books about the business of sport, and he sort of categorized. So when you hear things like that, that's really important. Like nobody buys it, right? So the league has a championship, correct?
Yeah.
All right, is that the thing that every beach volleyball player in the world is dying to win? Will they give their left arm to win that?
No.
So they did a poll on Olympic athletes, and they said if we could give you a pill which will guarantee you'll win an Olympic medal, but you'll be dead at 30, would you take it? And 95% of them said yes.
Oh, what an interesting.
Well, yeah,
poll.
it's meaningful for the athletes
Right.
to want to win an Olympic gold medal. Therefore, the people you believe that the Olympics is a championship. Now, not in every sport. So again, it gets cloudy as the more you talk about it, which is why everyone's like, but Kent, what about hockey? You know, I get it. It's cloudy in a sense.
Right.
But the point is anybody going to take a pill with 100% guaranteed death to win the league championship?
No.
All right. How about the Stanley Cup? How about the Masters? How about the U.S. Open tennis? How about Wimbledon? Right?
Manhattan, you might get a taker or two.
Yeah. They're going to have their best crowds in Manhattan.
Yeah.
They're going to have good crowds. They're going to
sure.
get 350, maybe 400,000 viewers. It'll be CBS. If they crack 500,000, that would be a success. We all want nothing but the success for AVP. I do. All right. I'm just giving them advice, and I'm telling them if you try to sell a chicken shit sandwich, it's not going to work.
Yeah.